I went to a party.
This weekend?
Yeah.
I went to a party.
Well, I went to a party.
Well, whose party was cooler?
I don't know.
What was your party?
I went to a Gen Z party. A Gen Z birthday party.
Whoa.
Yeah. My partner's coworker was turning 26.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that Gen Z? That's elder Gen Z.
Yeah, that's elder Gen Z. Well, my party, I went to a 78-year-old's birthday party, and I hit a piñata for the first time in my life.
Well, that sounds cool and all, but this was like a house party. It was outside, and we played Pong games.
Well, this was outside too.
Okay, but how many people were there?
Quite a few family members.
Yeah, well, this was quite a few friends.
Well,
Like maybe 25 people.
well, there wasn't that much. There were not that many people at my party. This was my friend's mom's party, and
Good.
it was fun though. We danced and we ate yummy food and we drank tequila.
Tequila!
Yeah.
Did the mom drink tequila?
No, she didn't drink no tequila, but she's cute. She's old.
She's a mom.
She's a mom.
78?
Yeah.
That's
She
pretty
has
old, yeah.
dementia,
Yeah.
but she's cutie. We love her.
We love that about her.
We love how sweet she is.
Well,
And she loves to dance. She danced a lot.
yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that you can help with people with dementia is through music.
Yeah,
Like music and like sounds are good for their memory.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma has dementia, but she's 95.
Oh, shit.
No, she's like 96, 97 now, actually. But the party I went to was pretty fun. I don't know. I was like in a mood because sometimes, like when I don't know anybody at a party, I don't know how to like approach groups.
What do you mean? Because you make friends every single place we go.
So do you.
No, I look away and then I look back and you're gone, and then you're always with like a group of people and you're like, these are my new friends.
What? I feel that about you.
No, you do that.
No, you're always making friends.
No, you're always making friends.
What? Name
Yeah.
one time.
When we went to horoscope party.
Horoscope party. Gay astrology?
Yes, gay astrology.
What? When was that? Like
a long time ago.
5 years ago?
No. It was probably like 2 years ago, and you made friends with the whole place. And I didn't know where you were half the time.
I don't remember that.
And then when we went to Tenants of the Trees.
Oh, I do remember the gay astrology thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Those-
you were bebopping around all over the place.
Oh, yeah. And you threw up that night.
I did, but that's pretty normal. I throw up a lot.
Yeah. Well, that was fun because I met two friends. I met two. Oh, I was bopping around that night. I was in a mood. I don't know. Like, I'm not usually like
You
that.
were bebopping around.
Yeah. But.
And then we made friends at what's that?
Tenants.
No. Well, you made friends at Tenants. Remember you tried to make friends with the other girls at Tenants of the Trees, and they looked at us like we were crazy?
Nope.
Okay. They were younger than us, and they were like, why are you talking to us? But anyway.
Oh, see, this is just me when I'm blackout. Not
Yeah.
blackout, but like.
Yeah. And
drunk
then
enough.
on the last weekend that we went out at High Tops, we made a bunch of friends.
No, but that time you talked to more people.
No, the only reason I started talking to more people was because I was like, where's Kirsten? And then you were out there talking to some guys.
Yeah.
So I walked up and I was like, what's up? And then we both started just bebopping around talking to people.
Well, here's the thing. I think like it's not that I'm making a lot of friends. It's that like I get bored easily, and so I just gotta change my location
Yeah.
from one place to another. And then when you're in a bar setting, people talk to you. But at party, I feel like it's different because it's like all friends that know each other.
Right.
So like they kind of stick to their own friends groups or
Plus
like.
you're like the old one at the party.
Yes, I really was. I was talking to, but I did make two friends.
Okay.
It was somebody that had met the guy whose birthday it was through Hinge,
Nice.
and their roommate. I think they were friends, and they like moved across the country with each other or something. I think that
Cute.
was the relationship. But I talked to them for a while, and they were really nice, like queer. I don't know, but at one point, age came up somehow.
Oh, no.
And they were like really surprised I was 32. And I was like, well, it's dark. Because they were 25.
Andy just got Botox.
They were
Just
25.
kidding.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that really did much because I still feel like my wrinkles are showing. I
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. But it's weird being at parties because I never know like how to walk up to groups. So, but my main point, okay, so my main point was that I just kept there were chairs like lining the edges, and I just kept sitting down on the chair and like being like, maybe somebody will come up to me, and it kind of worked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Did you get wasted with the Gen Z people?
I got pretty drunk, and Tori came. Well, later Tori and Sky came, which at that point, then I was like, yeah, these are my friends. Now I got people.
Now
to
I
hang
feel
with.
better.
And then when they got there, we stayed for a little bit, and then ended up going to Cha Cha Lounge.
Oh shit, haven't been there for a minute.
Yeah, I like Cha Cha Lounge.
It's fun.
And then at Cha Cha Lounge, I don't think I brought this up to anybody that was with me because nobody would know what I was talking about, and you probably won't either. But I saw this girl that I've seen on TikTok, and she's like a dancer. She makes like really like viral, millions of views dances
Whoa.
on TikTok, and I saw her standing by the foosball table.
Why do all the TikTokers live in Silver Lake?
I don't know, man.
I always see TikTokers in Silver
Well,
Lake.
it makes sense. It's like the expensive place that's artsy.
Yeah, that's true. they get their TikTok check and they're like, I can afford Silver Lake now.
Yeah. Although I don't think like TikTokers really make that much money anymore. I feel like it used to be that they would make a lot of money, but now there's like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
You gotta get
I've never been popular enough to make money on TikTok.
Well,
But hey, if you
our
like
friend-
us, you can view our TikTok page at Thank You So Much Pod.
thank you so much, Pod. That we don't ever post to, but we will.
We have a few videos.
It's coming. But no, because one of our friends used to work for a YouTube company, and he was telling me that TikTok doesn't make a lot of money because the videos are so short
Oh.
that you can't put a lot of ads in them,
Oh.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho,
Anywho,
that was the weekend.
that's fun.
We also did our traditional weekly Black Cat editing session
Yep.
on Friday.
We made a friend at Black Cat. The manager. He loves us.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the manager.
Shouts out. And
You
then we
ever
also
listen to
went to
us?
4100, which was a time.
It was happy hour still, so that was nice.
And it's like chill.
It was chill.
That's all about that. Let's get to the hexins and blessings. Blessings and hexins.
Blessings and hexins.
Blessings and hexins.
Who are you gonna hex today?
You go first.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is a doozy. Okay. I'm hexing this thing called the Heritage Foundation. Have you ever heard of it?
No. It sounds wholesome from the name.
It's not. It's a have you ever heard of a think tank?
Yeah.
You know what those are?
Well, explain it to the pod.
Okay, well, a think tank is a research organization that aims to influence policy making at a regional, national, and international levels. They're also known as policy institutes or research institutes. So they have a lot to do with the policies that are being made in government.
So they spread research propaganda.
Pretty much. So the Heritage Foundation, I mean, they have a whole website and they've been around for a while, but basically they're a think tank. So it's not like they're politicians or anything. Like they don't have a whole lot of power, but they kind of do because they raise money and donate to the politicians that they want.
And they do the research?
They do the research and
they're making the stats.
Well,
Is that right? Are they behind how we get the statistics?
No. This,
Okay.
well, I don't know about that, but
Okay.
they're doing the research about like policies and new policies to bring up, and Trump is very much behind the Heritage Foundation, and like politicians will take ideas from the Heritage Foundation and other think tanks, but this one in particular, they'll take ideas from it and come up with laws based off of their ideas. So they do have quite a bit of leeway when it comes to like the policies that are being made, because they give a lot of ideas to politicians that actually have the power.
Okay.
And the problem with the Heritage Foundation and why I want to hex them is because they came up with this thing called Project 2025, and it's yeah, it's called the Project 2025 is if Trump gets to be president, this is what they want to push. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really concerning. basically there's a lot that they believe in, and Trump has backed them, so he also believes in this stuff. But they believe that they want to get rid of the entire federal bureaucracy, including independent agencies like the Department of Justice. In practice, it would streamline decision making, allowing the president to directly implement policies in a number of areas. So it kind of takes away like what we have right now, the checks and balances and stuff like that. It gives the president a bunch of power or lets him decide like what policies are going to be put into place, and he has total control. So that's scary because we don't want Trump to have total control.
No,
they want to increase funding for the wall at the U.S. and Mexico border.
This is like such a stupid thing.
I know. Also, they want to propose a fee on immigrants and allow fast-tracked applications who pay a premium. So basically, if you're rich, you can fast-track your immigration papers because we want rich people in America, basically, is their thought.
Okay.
The
Well, those rich people better be paying us.
Right. Climate and economy, they propose to slash federal money for research and investment in renewable energy, and calls for the next president to stop the war on oil and natural gas.
Of course.
Yeah. So they and they even have considered returning to a gold-backed currency. Like, what year is this?
I'm not entirely against the gold thing, though.
That's wild to me. I don't know.
Although the people with gold probably right now are the colonizers.
Yeah, exactly. For abortion, they don't call for a nationwide abortion ban, but it proposes withdrawing the abortion pill from the market. So people can't easily get an abortion if they need
that's
one.
actually really crazy. That's like a huge one because that's how probably most abortions are administered now.
Yeah.
By the pill.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're not saying, oh, you can't get one, but they're taking it off the market, or they want to.
That's not going to happen. I don't know.
Well,
I don't buy it.
This also, they want pornography to be banned, and the tech companies that facilitate access to porn will be shut down.
I mean, good try. Like, it's gonna still.
Well, it's illegal in Virginia right now. You can't watch porn in Virginia. Isn't that crazy?
What? Like, you can't watch any kind of porn?
No.
But they have
It's
access
blocked.
to it.
No, they don't.
Did you try?
No, but
when you were in Virginia?
Mary told me.
So, like, if they go to pornhub.com.
It blocks it.
Well, I'm sure there's such easy ways around
I don't know.
VPNs.
Mary maybe, yeah. Mary was like, I have to look at porn on Twitter now. They want to aim at what they call woke propaganda in their schools. And they want to eliminate a long list of terms from laws and regulations, including the words sexual orientation, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
You know what's really crazy is, like, these conservative groups are supposed to be limited government.
Yes.
And
it makes no sense.
doing a ton of shit that's, like, more government.
They're like, their whole thing is like, we want to bring freedom back to America, and we want
but
to
you're not.
limit government and stuff. But then it's like, but
we're going to impose all these laws and rules.
Like. Yeah, exactly. They're backed by $22 million, so that's really scary. And they want to start implementing policies immediately after the presidential inauguration in January. And Trump has endorsed a bunch of the Project 2025 ideas in his speeches on his website. So basically,
I don't want to give life to this at all.
Well, we're trying to hex them, so
let's squash it.
Yeah, and their website, I looked at it earlier, and it's just a mess. It's like so right wing, and they're like, "Don't let the left ruin Juneteenth's true meaning." Like, there's an article.
What is the true meaning to them?
They're saying that the left is trying to divide the country with Juneteenth because they are focusing on
the slavery of it all?
Yes. And they made it
like,
about
how is it not about slavery?
The George Floyd stuff. They made it about that. And they want reparations, and they're trying to divide us. So don't let the left ruin the true meaning.
The country has always been
And
divided.
and the left is trying to make Juneteenth the new 4th of July. They're trying to ruin the 4th of July.
Juneteenth is tomorrow. No? Wait,
yes,
no.
it is. Yeah.
Juneteenth is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I gotta
So-
set my status at work.
Well, I'm off work tomorrow.
Oh, you
So-
are?
Yep, it's a holiday now.
Well, I'm not off work. I guess I could be
That's
if I wanted
'cause
to be.
your
My
work is
company
international.
is international.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate any of the U.S. holidays for my job.
Well, that sucks. But I just want to say, I want to hex the Heritage Foundation. I looked at their list of like the main people in charge of it, and they're all white, obviously. There's like one woman. So just think about a group of white men and maybe one white woman wearing, politician type clothing, making these dumbass policies that they want to implement. Just think about them and hex them.
Hex. I didn't really have a hexing, and I'm just going to piggyback off of that one because, honestly, I think that it needs more power. It needs more negative power in it. Maybe I wasn't clear. It needs more power of our sort.
Of the coven.
Yeah.
The coven needs to give it power to hex.
Yeah, because seriously, that's some bullshit.
I know.
It sounds so crazy that it doesn't feel real, but then it's like we didn't think that Trump becoming president was real, and he did. So, yeah,
Yeah.
scary stuff. So imagine this and hex it.
Hex them. Who do you want to bless?
I'm going to bless the ruby fruit.
For our listeners
in
who don't know what that is.
Silver Lake. Maybe I don't want to bring this to the public because I had just such a lovely time, and I don't want it to be overcrowded. Because, okay, let me do some backstory. Because I've been trying to, A, walk more, and B, work outside of home more.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, I was going to do 2 or 3 hours of work from a restaurant in the evening. And the only place I could think that, like, I want to be somewhere that's, like, got tables and I can drink and eat, but it's, like, cozy vibes. And so I was like, I'm going to go to Ye Rustic. And so I went to Ye Rustic on a Monday. On a Monday.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be nobody there.
No, that place is always a mess.
I didn't know on a Monday it was going to be like that. I thought on a Monday it was going to be empty.
You would think so. I don't know. I don't know how they're in business.
I don't either.
Their cocktails are $18.
Yeah, it's
And
the
we went
only
to-
place like it in town, though. I think that's the thing, is like people want pub vibes.
Okay,
There's not enough
but if you're
pubs.
going to do a pub vibe, why is your cocktail $18?
Supply and demand, baby.
Well, the cocktail place Wolf and Crane,
Yeah.
you know that place.
Yeah.
That place makes beautiful,
Yeah, they do.
beautiful cocktails for $14.
I know. I'm just saying
It's insane.
It's supply and demand, because in that area, there's a ton of places. In Little Tokyo, downtown area, there's a ton of places to go and get.
Well,
that
I'm
kind
just
of drink.
saying Ye Rustic is severely out of their mind.
They really are. I think that just somebody else needs. We're calling for another pub. In the
we need to
area.
open another pub that's not crazy.
Yeah, we're calling for another pub. I think that also part of it is they probably have to pay a lot for their rent because it's Silver Lake,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe downtown's a little cheaper. I don't know, but in any case, I want to bless the ruby fruit because last night I was really disappointed and went to Ye Rustic because I brought my laptop and I was like, I was going to sit in one of these little booths, cozy, get some chicken fingers and do some work. And it was packed to the brim. Like,
And you walked all the way there?
yes, it was a 30-minute walk.
Damn.
It was a 30-minute walk and it was packed to the brim, even the outside, like all the seats.
Did they have like an event, like karaoke
I
or
don't
anything?
know. It was like there was some sports on TV, so maybe there was a sports thing going on. I don't know. I didn't even like look at it carefully, but I walked in there and like immediately like beelined it out of there because I was like,
Damn,
this
that
is not the
sucks.
vibe. Yeah, and so I walked all the way back home and I wasn't able to work until I went home. So today I went to the Ruby Fruit and it was so lovely because A, it's queer.
Mm-hmm. We love it.
It's for the gays. Wait, no, what is it?
Specifically,
The she's, the theys, and the gays.
yes. It's a
It's
lesbian bar.
Yeah, it's a lesbian bar.
Which we love.
And it's like, I don't know. It's actually kind of cool because they have this sort of partnership with gay astrology.
Oh.
And today was like co-working day.
Oh.
And so there were a lot. And I don't know if it's always like this or if it's just Tuesdays. But there was a lot of like people in there with their computers just working.
Mm,
So
that's cool.
everybody that was in there was working, but it wasn't too packed.
Okay, that's
Like
nice.
it was like I had a place to sit. It was chill vibes.
Mm-hmm.
The bartenders and servers were nice. I had a great time.
Good.
They also have good hot dogs.
And they got vegan dogs too.
Yeah, and their happy hour is not bad. You can get $4 Miller High Lifes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is they only sell beer and wine.
Yeah.
But that's
But if
the
you're
vibe
working,
if you're working.
if you're working, you don't.
Yeah,
you
you're not
shouldn't
trying
be
to take
drinking
shots of tequila.
liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place to like work, and they're also open all day. They're open like from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. or something like that.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so you can just work there all day.
Well, let's bless them.
Let's bless them. Great place.
Bless, bless.
Also, something I noticed is, you know how we've been there together. The bathroom is Indigo Girls themed,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed when you walk in the bathroom, they only play Indigo Girls.
Nuh-uh.
I went to the bathroom 3 times.
I
and it was the
didn't.
Indigo
I've never
Girls
realized
song.
that.
I noticed like the music changed from outside
That is
into the
so
bathroom,
funny.
and I swear to God, it only plays
That's,
Indigo Girls in the
it's like
bathroom.
the little details that
Yes,
really.
they really just, that's cute.
Yeah.
I wasn't really an Indigo Girls super fan or anything like that, but I know that it's like a lesbian icon band of the 90s, and it just makes me think I should have been alive as an older person then.
Yeah.
In any case, that
Bless,
was
bless.
who I want to bless. Who do you want to bless?
I want to bless our boy Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. Y'all know him. Y'all know what he looks like. Y'all bless him because he's got a concert tomorrow for Juneteenth called
shit.
Kendrick and Friends.
Oh shit.
And it's in Inglewood, and I'm going.
It's this kind of stuff that makes me think the Drake beef was planned.
It could have been, but I don't care. I literally don't care because so many good songs came out of it, and we're going to go. It's during the day, which is funny. It's like starts at 4 and it's over at 7.
So you took off work for it.
No,
Oh yeah, because
I'm off. Yeah, I'm off work
Yeah.
because my job.
Oh, that was actually smart of him.
Yeah, so it's going to be a
Good.
huge thing. Like everyone's talking about it on the podcasts and like the just in all the spaces that, people like the musicians and stuff, like they're all so excited about it, and friends, so who knows who he's going to bring out. It could be anybody.
I don't know who he really collabs with.
He collabs with a lot of people. He might bring out Future. He might bring out Black Hippie. He might bring out Absol. Like, he could bring out who I think is in Black Hippie. But anyway, he could bring out ASAP. Like, he could bring out so many people. And everyone's going to want to be on the bill because he just annihilated Drake with his lyrics.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be so fun. I can't wait. So we're going to go to the greatest beforehand. And
Is Stephanie going?
not to the concert,
Oh.
but it's Wing Wednesday. So we have to go to Wing Wednesday. And then we're going to go to the forum. It's like 10 minutes from the greatest.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
perfect. So I want
I
to
don't
bless.
know what it is about the greatest you guys love, because honestly, I gotta say, I mean, it's nice.
It's just
I don't want
the
to
fact
hate.
that
I don't want to
it's
hate on
cheap,
it. Okay,
really, and
yeah.
the bartender knows our drinks.
Ugh.
But I want to bless Kendrick because he's about to put on this show, and I just hope it goes well. And
Bless.
bless Kendrick Lamar.
He's doing great.
He's a great guy.
A stand-up guy.
This will be my 3rd time seeing him.
I've never seen him.
I saw him one time a long ass time ago in like 2009 or
Oh,
10 or something, and he came to WVU to perform, and like barely anyone was there.
What?
Yeah, because he was like it was just Section
Oh.
80, and then I think his Good Kid Mad City album was about to come out, so I don't know.
Wasn't popular.
He wasn't like as popular. And then I saw him the year I went to Coachella. And then, yeah, this will be my 3rd time.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Bless.
Splash. But I want to do something for Juneteenth. Like, I can't believe it's already fucking June 19th tomorrow.
I know. It's
I thought it was the beginning
flown
of June
by.
still.
I know.
Anyway, so we're talking about some drugs again
Surprise.
because it's drug month. And we decided to do something a little more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
I'm Kirsten,
I'm Allie.
and you're listening to
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Peyote
and
ayahuasca.
You can turn down your volume for that part. Well, you already heard it, so too late.
I'm going to talk about ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Have you ever done ayahuasca?
No.
Me either.
But
I
actually,
actually haven't. Not even in my dreams.
I do have like a minor story about ayahuasca. Somebody that I pet sat for, which is actually somebody that you pet sit for.
Oh,
those like hippy dippy couple.
Yeah.
Do you remember this like weird thing? So like I had pet sat for them once, and then like a few months later they broke up.
Yeah.
And the guy asked me to pet sit for him.
Yeah.
And he was going on a ayahuasca trip with a different girl. And he told me like not to post the dogs on my Instagram.
Oh my god.
And like
Messy.
Yeah, it was super messy. And then I was actually pissed at him because like he didn't tell me what time he was coming home, and I had to like go work or something. And so I had to like leave in the morning, and I was like, okay, let me know when you're gonna be home, but I can come back. And I hadn't heard from him like all day, and it was already like 4 or 5 p.m. and I was like, I can't leave the dogs that long. And he's not answering me. So, and I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to like take an Uber back up to Burbank, just because I didn't want the dogs to be like, there was like 4 dogs, I didn't want them to be like alone for that long.
Yeah.
And so I like took an Uber back up to Burbank, let the dogs out and stuff. And then he came home like right then, and he was like, oh. But I think he was just like high the whole time. But still, like, you should let me know what time you're coming home.
Yeah,
like,
that's awkward.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And then I asked him to pay for my Uber, and I think he did end up doing that, but it was just not responsible.
Maybe his brain was scrambled from the ayahuasca.
Well, you should have planned ahead for that.
Yeah, true. Well, if you don't know, listeners, ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic drink made from the stem and the bark of the tropical
Banisteriopsis capi.
Banisteriopsis capi plant and some other botanical ingredients. And it was first formulated by indigenous South Americans of the Amazon basin. Now, ayahuasca is used in many parts of the world, and it's becoming very westernized because a lot of Americans have caught on to it, and they will go on ayahuasca trips like the dog man.
Yep. It might have been peyote. I actually don't know.
Oh,
But I think
well.
I think it was ayahuasca, because I think I remember him like actually like we sat down and talked about ayahuasca for like a while.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, good for him, because I don't know if I could ever do it, but it is intriguing. But it's basically it has DMT in it is what the main thing is.
Okay.
So it's really hallucinogenic, and people use it to discover themselves, and they use it to separate the ego from self, and like they think it cures depression, anxiety, trauma, like all this stuff. But basically, it's really, really fucking old. Archaeological evidence found vessels associated with ayahuasca dating back to 2400 BC. And that's old as fuck. So they were, out here doing that. And it was used in combination with other plants for medicinal purposes. And it's regarded as a plant teacher with healing properties. And a lot of different indigenous groups use it with shamans being the guides, because shaman, I'm sure everyone knows, but it's a person who works with spirits using ritualistic trance states for healing and divination. So certain tribes, only the shaman consumed the ayahuasca, and they would do that to diagnose diseases. and then determine appropriate treatments, because they think ayahuasca is like the plant of the gods, basically. Like it gives you knowledge, and it enhances their abilities. But then some tribes would just all take it with the guidance of a shaman. So it just depends, but users always report euphoria, a sense of transcending space and time, and oneness with the world. A lot of participants report interactions with non-human beings like spirits, angels, or aliens.
Ooh,
which is pretty similar to DMT experiences and near-death experiences and stuff. They also experience purgative effects, which just means they puke. Because there's a disturbance to the stomach enzymes, which is caused by something in the plant. So nausea, vomiting are the most common side effects. Traditionally, vomiting is seen as expelling of the physical toxins and psychological traumas. So they think that the vomiting is actually really important because it's like cleansing you in a way of all that stuff, like purging you from all the trauma and stuff you've been through. It's also been linked to increased self-love and empathy. They have a heightened sense of awareness and presence during ceremonies, which is supposed to psychologically help their well-being. And studies exploring ayahuasca with depression, anxiety, they show mixed results, but a lot of people do report like being cured of depression, or some people report being cured of their addictions, or, you know, anything like that. I've seen, like, when these people go on these ayahuasca retreats, it's like it's like 4 days long or something.
Yeah, that's what this was. Like the guy that
then it was probably ayahuasca, because
it was a retreat thing that he went on.
And it's long, and like there's different stages to it, and all I know is you have to be careful and make sure that you're actually being guided by a legitimate shaman and not some American pretending to be a shaman, because it can be really dangerous if it's misused. So they need to really know how to use it, because there have been deaths reported, but it's usually because of malpractice. So if someone doesn't know what the body's actually going through, what they need at the time, or any risks, like if you are on a certain medication or whatever, like if they don't know the ins and outs, then people can die.
Yeah. Damn.
I feel like I'm kind of scared of it, cuz
I don't know if I like really want to try. But there's a lot of these kind of like Native American traditions that are really interesting, like sweat lodges. It's like you put yourself through this like intense experience, and it's supposed to like bring you to the other side, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of really good stuff that people report, but then there's also been, like, I've heard of some people kind of taking it too far and like losing their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they become completely different people. So I don't know. I think it just depends. But I do have one story from a person who did it. It's kind of long, so I'm going to just pick out the good parts. Okay, so this person went on a retreat. They said that they spent a few days doing yoga, hanging out on the beach, and then preparing for the ayahuasca experience itself. And the first night, the ayahuasca ceremony, the group gathered in the ceremonial temple space and sat in a circle to receive the medicine. One by one, we all made our way to the altar to receive the brew from our shaman. After I drank the medicine, I returned to my space and began to contemplate what I was doing, sitting on the ground in the jungle with a group of strangers drinking psychedelic tea. Admittedly, many doubts began to make their way into my head about if I was actually crazy for embarking on this personal journey. The first night, I spent majority of my time in physical discomfort. I felt very nauseous and had the sense that the room was spinning and that I was falling into an endless pit of darkness. When I closed my eyes, the vertigo would get to the point where I felt like vomiting, at which point I would get up and go walk out of the area and try to find some relief. After about an hour and a half, I explained what I was feeling to the shaman, who encouraged me to drink more medicine. I drank a second cup, and all the symptoms I was experiencing before intensified, obviously.
Yeah.
At this point, I really began to doubt myself. It was obvious to me that, practically speaking, I had not been showing up in my life in a way I respected or appreciated. I found myself feeling very angry with myself for the lack of attention I had been paying to the trajectory of my life and resigned to a sense of hopelessness that allowed me to at least find peace with my physical discomfort. So he's saying, like, I deserve this physical discomfort because fuck my life.
Yeah.
Eventually, the physical discomfort got to the point that if I laid down, I would feel as if the entire world was spinning uncontrollably. The shaman came out and asked me how I felt, and I expressed that I was not feeling great. She asked me if I had purged yet, to which I replied in the negative. She told me to drink one more cup of medicine to get myself to purge, which I was highly resistant to, but I figured, what the hell? I'm already here feeling miserable. It can't get any worse. Third cup of medicine worked like a charm. No sooner after I swallowed the final dose, it came right back up. I had to physically stop myself from puking all over the sacred altar and re-swallow what my body was trying to reject until I was able to make my way out of the space and projectile vomit all over a tree. As soon as I had cleared the tea from my stomach, I began to feel a sense of normality take over. I felt grounded. Everything stopped spinning. You know, he was telling the shaman how he felt. He felt pretty normal. She pulled out a giant curved horn and told me to place one end of it in my nose. This was an odd request, but I complied. She proceeded to blow an ashy powder so far into my nose, I was sure it was going to come out of my ears. The physical sensation was quite overwhelming. It felt like my face was melting off, and the tears and snot that flowed out of me seemed to only confirm this feeling. After she blew the tobacco into my one nostril, she told me she needed to do the other one as well. I begrudgingly consented, and when she administered the second dose, everything began to change. I began to perceive a vision of a giant golden dragon making its way towards me. As I closed my eyes, the dragon became as real as anything I had ever seen, and I realized the transformational experience I had been searching for may have found me after all. I felt my conscious reality slip away and be replaced by this shimmering golden dragon. I felt the urge to try to ride this magnificent creature, but realized by doing so, I would need to leave my body behind. Instantly, I got up out of my body and proceeded to climb atop the back of the giant golden dragon, and then we flew away together. He's saying that he completely lost any sense of his physical body. So the dragon and him were just flying through the valleys. He said it was the most beautiful thing he's ever seen before. We rose up through a mountain range. The sky turned black and the earth fell away beneath us. Once we had made our way back into this abyss, the dragon left me suspended in darkness alone. And then he has like some flashbacks of like when he was with his father, but his father had passed away. So he was seeing that. And he said it felt like a real reconnection with his father, and they were just embracing each other. And then when he woke up, he was tucked cozily into the space within the temple. There was soft music playing. It was dark, and I felt a supreme sense of peace that I had never encountered before. The magic of ayahuasca was apparent to me, and I was truly baffled when trying to understand what I had just been through. As soon as I came to, the shaman declared the end of the ceremony. That was just night one. So I won't read all of it, but there was a night 2 where the second night he perceived a bright green light in the center of space and allowed himself to be pulled into this light. And once the light overcame him, he found himself face to face with the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen.
It feels like a lie. Does that really happen to people?
I don't know, because I hear a lot of the same shit. Like people meeting God, and I guess this woman politely introduced herself as ayahuasca, the spirit of Mother Earth, grandmother to life, and asked me if I had questions to ask her. So we spent the better part of an hour going back and forth on the meaning of life, the purpose of existence, the nature of human condition. I asked every question I have ever had, and she answered all of them thoroughly.
Well, that makes me want to try it, but I don't want to go through that first part.
Ooh, then, one more thing, because this is crazy. So then he went up to a shaman and asked him how I should proceed, given that he got all his questions answered. And the shaman laughed and told him that if he wanted to have more powerful visions, he should drink more medicine. So he did. And he said that he went back to his space and very slowly felt myself die.
Oh.
One breath at a time, my heart rate slowed, my breathing calmed, and then all of a sudden, I died. There was no fear associated with this death. Truthfully, there was no sensation associated with it at all other than the lightness and the sense of peace. So he rose out of his body. He had no control of it. He said, as soon as I merged with the green orb again, showed up, and he found himself in heaven. He was encompassed by a thick and warm golden light and thought he was one with existence. At that moment, I understood exactly what people meant when they referred to God.
Okay.
Yep. Then it seems like he went into like this, he was like sucked out of heaven and went into this void, and it was nothing. He was nothing, which I hear this a lot with different experiences where ayahuasca is literally telling you, like, you are nothing. Like, your ego gets ripped out and it, like, beats you down, basically, like, to say, like, you're nothing. So a lot of celebrities like it because it helps them, you know, with whatever.
Themselves.
Yeah, humble themselves. Basically, that happened, and then he watched as he perceived the totality of reality creating and destroying itself over and over again. But then afterwards, he said that he understood himself in relation to all things on a new level that he knows he could never articulate or describe. And he's forever been grateful to grandmother ayahuasca ever since for her gifts that she gave me in our first meeting. That sounds crazy.
Yeah. I didn't get that deep with peyote. I feel like I could probably find an experience and we could compare them, but ayahuasca seems like a trip. I actually don't know what the like specific differences would be.
Peyote comes from a cactus.
Yeah.
So that's different.
All right. So let's talk about peyote
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, the ayahuasca is not a cactus at all. It's like a vine or like a
Yeah, so peyote is a rounded spineless cactus containing more than 60 hallucinogenic alkaloids of the of the phenolithamine family, especially mescaline or mescaline, I guess. The liquid extract of peyote cactus is used to treat lesions, snake bite, and scorpion stings.
Oh, okay.
But we know that it has other uses too. We have the ritual uses of peyote in the Americas. This dates back more than 5,000 years to prehistoric times. So the history is kind of similar. I found like a lot of information about it being kind of near South Texas and Mexico. That's like where it's derived from. And it's a cactus. And it kind of looks like, here's a picture. It kind of looks like a little pumpkin cactus.
Little pumpkin cactus.
But it's sort of like a cabbage, too.
A cactus cabbage.
A cactus cabbage pumpkin.
Okay.
Thingy. Yeah, it's an interesting
It's weird.
cactus.
It doesn't
it's
really
not,
look like a cactus.
Yeah, it looks like a succulent.
Yeah.
But it's not like leafy or spiny like a cactus. Oh, one interesting thing about peyote is that, well, as we know, it's also used in Native American religious ceremonies. So it's technically legal.
In the United States, it is, but just for religious ceremonies.
Yes, just for religious ceremonies. It's very lightly regulated. I think that you can like easily get a hold of it.
I just wonder how different it would be to like mushrooms.
So peyote, here's what does peyote do. Mescaline, which, as I said, is the primary ingredient in peyote. It's known for its slow come-on and LSD-like effects, which can include visual, auditory, and tactile hallucinations, loss of personal identity, distorted perception of time, novelty enhancement. So it's like LSD, and ayahuasca is like DMT.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then I have like a small excerpt from Laurel Tuhoy, a writer for Vice magazine, of course. And about the effects of peyote when they went on a trip to Mexico.
Okay.
At times I felt mildly sick, but that could have been due to the heat or dehydration as much as the peyote. When the feelings were strongest, I had a familiar mind twitch I often associate with psychedelics. I thought I could hear the emptiness of the desert. The first few hours took on a dreamy quality, and I was unable to focus fully on anything. The later hours were more lucid, and the experience had no sharply defined start, peak, or end. I still felt the dreamy drifting effects the next day.
Ooh.
Everything was amplified. I was thirstier, the desert was hotter, and the ground was harder. It was easy for me to imagine how peyote could enhance a religious experience. But which is interesting, she doesn't mention that she had a religious experience. But as I said, for thousands of years, Native Americans in central and northern Mexico have been ingesting peyote for spiritual purposes. And the effects for these purposes are heightened awareness, especially of your surroundings and emotions. So it seems very similar.
To LSD or something. Or,
No,
or
no,
mushroom.
to ayahuasca too, like
Oh.
the spiritual awareness part.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like a less intense version, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. You're not having these, like, at least just from this one account, they felt nauseous, but they didn't, like, you're really, really sick.
Yeah.
So, some history. Most of its history is in Mexico, and like other plants and mushrooms, it was used in religion.
The first time I heard of peyote, it was on that show, Grace and Frankie,
I don't
about
know
the two old ladies.
Oh, really?
It's like-
That's the first time you heard of it?
Yeah, the two old ladies whose husbands decided
it?
to be gay together and left them both. They went to the desert and did peyote. That was the first time I heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like from what I'm reading, peyote is more medicinal in the injury department, like snake bites,
Mm-hmm.
burns, wounds. That's kind of what it started out as. And this chemical mescaline is known to be the first psychedelic to be created in a lab,
Whoa.
1919. I feel like these early 1900s was a time for discovering drugs.
Yep.
This is what the general trend we've been noticing is.
Mm-hmm.
At least, in the Western world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in 1926, Jose Mazzotti wrote a thesis, and he studied the psychological effects of peyote on animals and humans. In his study, he dosed some animals and himself. And when he dosed himself, the sensations that he felt were intense pain. And this turned into anesthesia and then spread to the entire body. And then he had pressure in his temples and chest, anguish, fear of dying, unpleasant sensations.
Sounds like a bad trip.
But apparently this disappeared after 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then he got strong relaxation, auditive distortions, visions of white lines intersecting with others to form various shapes. So I don't know. It sounds really similar to this discomfort in the beginning, and then you get over that hump. But yeah, it seems like it's more mild.
It seems like your reality is just a little bit altered, whereas ayahuasca, it puts you in a completely different reality.
Yeah.
Like you leave your body and you leave this world, and so
It's like a whole, yeah, it's a whole thing.
a whole thing. So I feel like
But wait, there's just one more thing. There's this article about peyote, and there's some fun comments. So this one comment is from Gold Digger Phil.
Gold
he
Digger
says-
Phil.
He says, "Don't dig them up. You must cut them off at ground level. If you dig them up, they're gone and will not come back. If you cut them off at ground level, they'll grow back." So he's
He's just
giving
looking
some-
out for the
some
earth.
advice.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And then this one I thought was interesting from Richard Schmidt. I love peyote in the mid-60s and early 70s. It was a fairly easy to get, was a mail order place called Texas Gardens. For a measly $25, you could get a huge box of nice small buttons. And they call them buttons, I think, because of they're just short and fat.
Mm-hmm.
After pulling out the white hairs and peeling them, you slice up 6 or 8 like cucumber. The trip was an all-nighter and wonderful. Not a smash like acid, but gentle and beautiful. The magic of plants. Damn, I wish it was still available. Richard
I feel
Smith.
like it is still available. You just gotta know where to look,
Yeah,
Richard.
he can't get it for $25
You
anymore.
sure can't.
That's for sure.
Inflation.
Yeah, but yeah, that was all kind of that I had on peyote. I feel like they're similar. I think I would try peyote, but maybe not ayahuasca.
I was thinking the same thing. I would be
Yeah.
more down to try peyote and see how that goes.
Yeah, maybe try that first.
Yeah, because ayahuasca, the whole blowing the ash up his nose with the conch shell or whatever, I don't want that.
Oh, I don't mind that.
I don't
My
want that.
part is I don't want to feel like I'm gonna die and get sick. And
No, I
then
don't wanna
have
do
the
that
shaman
either.
keep making me drink the poison.
I know, this is happening. Okay, drink more. And then, but I just think the whole thing sounds really uncomfortable,
Yeah,
and
it
I
does.
don't really want to do it. But who knows?
I mean, I want to skip to the good part. I want to skip to the part where you're
Yeah.
talking to God.
Yeah, I want to talk to God herself, but I don't want to be sick before
Yeah.
that. I just want to pass out and talk to God.
But I guess that's the whole point is you have to go through that discomfort and pain to
to purge yourself.
overcome. Yeah. But interesting stuff. Let's try peyote. Let's no. I was gonna say we're going to the desert for my birthday, but I don't want to. I don't know if I want to do that for my birthday because like
we'd be around a lot of people.
I want to just be familiar. Well, that's all, folks.
That's
That's all, folks. Coming at you next week with another drug, and we're not sure which one it is yet,
We're not
but we'll
sure,
tell
but
you
it
about it
could
next
be-
week.
It could be ketamine.
Could be ketamine.
We don't
Ketamine.
know. We don't know.
Could be
yet.
fentanyl, but that
Could
could
be
be
fentanyl.
depressing.
That might be sad.
That might be sure.
I'm trying to keep
So
it light and fun.
thanks, guys, for listening. If you made it this far, follow us. But most importantly, because you're probably already following us, most importantly, buy us a coffee.
Please buy us a coffee.
And
We
yeah.
really just want to get new equipment.
And as we say every time, how to buy us a coffee. Go to our Instagram.
Link in bio.
Link in bio. Click on the link that says buy us a coffee and buy us a coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Everybody.
But it's not actually a coffee. It's
just $5.
$5. Yeah. So
Which
maybe
is about the price of a coffee.
maybe buy us 4 coffees.
Yeah.
Put a little bit.
Buy
little bit
us
of
as
donation.
many coffees as you want.
Listen, if I was listening to your podcast, I would do it for you.
I would do it for you too. Especially if you were my
Listen.
friend.
Exactly. If you came this far and still haven't bought us a coffee,
What are you doing?
shame on you.
What are you doing with your life?
Wait, I don't want to guilt you. If you're poor, don't do it.
If you're
Don't
poor,
do it. If you can't afford it, it's fine.
don't do it. But if you're
But
not
if you
poor,
can afford $20,
then why not?
yeah, why
Just,
not?
you know.
but anyway, love you guys.
Love
Thank
you guys
so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mwah.